this is a story they really want to hear. It's very important to them. And the years have passed from 1996. If you all think about it, how many years is that to do something and don't give up? And I think being steadfast and unmovable with something is very important.
Ms. Hazel said this parade must happen. She promised several children in the community that there was going to be a Christmas parade, and the children in the community want a parade in Whitehaven to bring a positive light in Whitehaven.
Well, the word out to the school, I've done a lot of working with the schools, and I ask schools to pass it on to their children. Even with the board, I asked, the Board of Education to help come in and be a part of it and allow these children to get involved. It wasn't easy. It was really not the easiest thing. You always have to jump through loopholes to get there.
Sometimes government can be frustrating because it has all of these red tapes that you have to go through so that government can do what government has to do. You have to go to the City of Memphis permit office, of course, and pay your fee. And then once you pay your fee, they give you the permit. You have to fill it out, of course. You have to let the city know how many people you expect, when the date is when it's gonna take place, the time it will start, the time it will end, and all those kinds of things.
Well, one of the things when they said, and we were surprised, that you gotta have $10,000 to have a parade. And I said, we don't have $10,000 right off like that. So I went to the police officers and said, would you volunteer and help make this parade work? So we did, and I attended Melrose High, so I decided to get the parade, the officer from Orange Mound, the neighborhood that I grew up in, to come and volunteer with Whitehaven officer. And it's a gentleman named Lieutenant Hopkins. He's dead now, but he just was so instrumental in making it happen. He took the maps you see, and he designed the maps when we had to go through the communities and everything. And it was very important that they could pull them all together. And they were all out early in the morning on the streets, ready to go. And they blocked the streets off, have everything perfect. And it wasn't easy without the credit that they had given to the community and to this parade.
Yeah, and after the first parade, it wasn't very well attended by many citizens, but we had an after-action review, and Ms. Hazel said, it's gonna be even better next year. And as a police officer, I'm like, we gotta do this again? And she said, yes, but the 200 children that watched it, they loved it.
It's a citywide thing. First, people were thinking it was just for Whitehaven, but they would come out and see, and they would ask, what about next year? They're always planning something, give you answers to things that could happen next year and talking about it. We said, oh yeah, we'll jot that down and think about it for the next year. And so what happens, most of them start getting prepared.
So she did some lobbying, and the following year, she got about 3 more floats in there, and Santa Claus was in there. The Corvette Club brought their beautiful cars, and of course, most children love cars, so that was iconic. And so then it was about 1,000 people that attended that year along the route of Mill Branch and Range Road, and we ended up in Whitehaven Plaza, and we had 5 bands this time. So she said, oh wow, Melrose is coming, Kirby is coming, Ridgeway is coming. And being such a success, the second year, she went out and recruited more people. And we had floats. I mean, the students at that time worked on the floats, and we had about 5 or 6 floats this time. And then it was very well attended. We had about 3,000 folks watching the parade along the route. And then she said, we got to do this every year. 3,000 people in Whitehaven, that's awesome. This went on for the next 10 years, I know, while I was there. And it was a happy time during that time at Whitehaven. She said, I gotta bring this parade to Whitehaven every year.
We do as much as we can for the money we have. So when you run out of money and stuff, that's it, you know. And the time, you can't do it, but you gotta sit certain at the time that you can go. But a lot of people might think too that it's just easy to put them out there, but you have to have the finance and the money to make sure you bring all the kids up to par and let them all feel like, regardless of what neighborhood or where they come from, that we can work with you and do the things to help you be successful in school. They drop them off at the mall, they come to the class and wait on them until they finished, and then they take them back to the school. And so that's not an easy thing. All of that stuff, all the things that we do with that has to be paid for. We have to raise money in order to get it to that success. And I don't know whether people feel like, I think sometimes maybe it'd be the easiest thing, but it's not. And like I say, what has made it a lot successful, we don't just pay a lot of salary. We get volunteers and people that are committed to making a difference and making a change in the life of young people. And you have to, a lot of times, work with their parents. And so it's important that you help the parents. And when you help the parents, they can help the kids. So that's one of the biggest commitments. It's always some schools I'm gonna go into. And then they're gonna ask these questions, what are you doing next year? And I wanna be there. They'll tell you about those things. And this past week, I was at several schools, elementary schools, trying to talk to them, and it'll be their first time of knowing some of the stuff. So you start with that, and it's easy when you get up to junior high and high. So I spent a lot of times in junior high too. You have to catch them at an early age. Don't wait till it's too late. And you know where they end if you wait too late. I don't believe in giving up too fast. A lot of people do believe in, well, it's too hard. They'll tell me how you do that. I don't know how you do it, and it's hard or whatever. I think anything, if you really want it, you won't give up. You study, be steadfast, work hard after, and do whatever it takes. It really wasn't easy. I want to see a better life for them. And I think with me doing that, giving of my own stuff and my own money, I have been blessed.
It's amazing for me to see her and her drive and her commitment, and not just for Whitehaven, but the city. But she loves Whitehaven.
If there's a project that needs to get done, some attention that needs to be brought to something, she's fearless. Warrior, compassionate, no fear. Her reputation precedes her, and she is just an amazing person to kind of connect with if you definitely want to get something done. But remember, you got to come to her correct now. She just won't attach with you or help you do something if you don't have the good for the Whitehaven community in mind. So that's Miss Hazel in a nutshell.
It's always good to have open ears, listen at other people. I always believed in being a good listener. Listen, you can learn a lot as well as you can give a lot. So that's very important to be able to do that. And this parade, while we started in November, it opens the door of the Christmas spirit. The hardest thing was getting to a dream that I always wanted to do, to be able to come out of the community. We went through the community where the drums was being beat and everything. People stood on the porches and watched the parade. But one day I said, I will hope to go down Elvis Presley.
Coming up next, it's a Christmas miracle the parade committee had been hoping for. How the dream to march down Elvis Presley Boulevard came true and what had to happen to make it work.